Martha's 52-year-old fingers froze mid-swig of chamomile when she caught two baristas giggling about menopausal beekeepers, some urban legend of a woman who swapped hot flashes for hive vibes. Ridiculous. Yet next morning, standing under Seattle's drizzle, she eyed Pike Place Market's honey stalls differently. That rooftop above her apartment? Suddenly not just a leaky eyesore. A potential empire. Her palms itched, not from sweat this time, but purpose. Who knew second chances came in jars, sticky and gold, with wings? Martha's 52-year-old fingers froze mid-swig of chamomile when a rogue sunbeam hit her face, not a hot flash, just Seattle remembering it could shine. On her fire escape, a fat bumblebee wobbled past like it had raided Pike Place Market's jam samples. That's when ideas stuck. Rooftops were wasted on HVAC units and lonely yoga mats. What if they held hives? Her knees creaked to protest as she crouched to inspect a dandelion pushing through concrete. Menopause had made her body a radio tuned between static and sudden clarity, but this? This was a frequency she understood. That honey jar on her windowsill, same one she'd saved from her grandmother's farmhouse, wasn't just sweetness. It was proof things could be rebuilt. First hive installation went poorly. Protective suit zipper snagged her ponytail, and she spent 10 minutes wrestling it like a feral house cat. But when she lifted first frame, golden hexagons humming with purpose, something in her chest uncrimped. Here was a sisterhood that didn't care about her mood swings or forgotten words. Bees just did. By midsummer, Martha's rooftop buzzed with liquid sunlight in jars. She'd expected honey to soothe night sweats, not way watching worker bees navigate skyscrapers would reframe her own stumbles. Menopause wasn't a cliff, it was a hive mind, messy and vital. Every time she pried open a sticky lid, she caught a whiff of clover and quiet thrill of starting late, but starting. Martha's 52-year-old fingers froze mid-swig of chamomile when a honeybee landed on her windowsill, wings shimmering like crumpled gold foil. Seattle's drizzle had turned her tiny balcony into a sad puddle, but that bee, bold, unbothered, ignored gloom. It buzzed off toward Pike Place Market's flower stalls, and something in Martha's chest twanged. Next thing she knew, she was signing up for a rooftop hive workshop, her knees creaking louder than old elevator climbing 6 flights to urban apiary. Turns out, beekeeping wasn't just about honey. It was about rhythm. Way worker bees moved in sync, how drones hummed like a bass line under city's noise. Woman fumbled her first hive inspection, gloved hands jittery, until retired marine biologist Rosa, 70, no nonsense, smelling of propolis and peppermint, showed her how to read frames like a map. Bees don't do drama, Rosa muttered, watching she overcorrect a wobbling super. Neither should you. Martha's hot flashes didn't vanish, but now they had competition. Each sunrise check on her hive became a meditation, smoke curling, bees weaving around her like living lace. She learned to spot queen cells, how nectar thickened into amber magic. One jar of her first harvest sat on her nightstand, catching light, not just sweetness, but proof she'd built something that outlasted a mood swing. When her crew won a grant to expand their apiary, woman pitched turning vacant rooftops into pollinator pit stops. Committee chair blinked her passion, then slid honey sample closer. This tastes like Seattle sunshine. Martha grinned. 52, sticky kneed, and finally buzzing. Martha's 52-year-old fingers froze mid-swig of chamomile when a fat bumblebee bumbled against her kitchen window. Not a metaphor, just Seattle spring vibes. But something about its fuzzy persistence stuck. Next thing she knew, she was elbow-deep in library bee books, then signing up for a rooftop hive workshop near Pike Place Market, where vendors hawked honey like it was liquid gold. First hive assembly was a comedy of errors. Protective suit? More like a marshmallow straitjacket. Smoker? She set off a fire alarm. But Martha had spent decades wrangling corporate spreadsheets, she could handle a few thousand winged employees. Stubbornness became her secret weapon. Every misstep, queen excluders installed upside down, frames glued with too much propolis, just made her dig deeper. Menopause had been sneaky, a slow creep of sleepless nights and mood swings no yoga app could fix. But up on that rooftop, sticky with honey and sweat, she found rhythm and hum. Checking hives became meditation. Worker bees didn't care about hot flashes, they had a damn colony to run. She admired that. Harvest day hit different. First golden swirl into a jar felt like alchemy, proof she'd created something tangible, not just survived another meeting. She gifted extras to neighbors, their surprised grins sweeter than honey itself. One jar went to her skeptical sister, who texted back, "Be cult." "Fine. But this better not sting." Martha laughed. Pike Place vendors started asking for her honeycomb. Turns out, city bees thrived on cherry blossoms and coffee shop dumpster sugar. Who knew? She didn't cure menopause, but she'd built a life where buzz outside matched one in her bones. Some days, she'd catch her reflection in a honey jar, smudged, smiling, and think, not bad for a rookie. Martha's 52-year-old fingers froze mid-swig of chamomile when a rogue honeybee landed on her windowsill, wings glinting like tiny sunbeams. That moment sparked a wild idea: why not turn her downtown Seattle rooftop into a buzzing sanctuary? Menopause had been throwing curveballs, sleepless nights, mood swings hotter than Pike Place Market's famous pepper jam, but watching those bees work their magic. Pure serotonin. 3 weeks later, she stood on that rooftop, heart pounding as she installed her first hive. Neighbors peeked over fire escapes, eyebrows raised. One scoffed loud enough to rattle her beekeeper's veil. "Midlife crisis, much?" She just smirked, adjusting her gloves. "Crisis? Nah. This was a revolution." By summer, her jars of amber honey became local legend. She gifted them to yoga studios, coffee shops, even skeptical Karen from 4B, who'd once side-eyed Martha's hippie nonsense. Karen took one spoonful of wildflower gold and, plot twist, demanded a hive tour. Crowds soon followed. Then came Gutsy Move, a workshop community center. 50 women showed up, some clutching fans, others buzzing with curiosity. Woman held up a honey jar, sunlight catching its curves. "Nature's chill pill," she declared, and room erupted. Someone filmed her demo, how to smoke a hive without setting off fire alarms. Tiny goof, she'd learned that one hard way, and next thing she knew, her phone blew up. Menopause Maven trended. Standing there, surrounded by women swapping hive stories instead of hot flash horror, woman grinned. This wasn't just about bees. It was about reclaiming narrative, one sticky, golden jar at a time. Across room, Karen, now a convert, clutched her own jar like a lifeline. Martha caught her eye. No words needed. Roar of crowd said it all. This was her start. And damn, it tasted sweet. Martha's 52-year-old fingers froze mid-swig of chamomile when a rogue bee landed on her windowsill. Not an omen, an invitation. That afternoon, she traded flannel pajamas for a beekeeper's suit, turning her Seattle rooftop into a sanctuary for 50,000 winged therapists. Sweat-soaked hot flashes? Distracted by hive inspections dawn. Brain fog? Cleared by memorizing queen bee patterns. Loneliness? Outsmarted by a colony that thrived on teamwork, vibes she mirrored, hosting rooftop workshops for women clutching honey jars like talismans. Pike Place Market vendors soon dubbed her Madam Meal, slinging menopause memes with every honey sample. Odd habit? She whispered gratitude to each hive before harvesting, convinced bees responded to joy. They did. Her colonies flourished, spilling into neighborhood gardens, stitching city together in golden threads. That first jar of honey, now empty, sat on her shelf as a reminder: what once held sweetness now held purpose. By summer's end, Martha's initiative had sprouted 6 satellite hives, tended by women who'd arrived skeptical and left sticky-handed, laughing about hot flashes over smoker fuel. Even local barista swapped her world's okayest mom mug for beekeepers do it better. Menopause hadn't softened. But Martha had sharpened, into a woman who didn't just endure change but built hives from it. Strap on your veil, world needs your sting.